Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. Our party passes Swamplandia and continues on their route, heading for Sulphur Island, is it?
Yep.
3, 4, 5.
Making sure the crew are below deck this whole time.
18, 19, 20 islands down the road. Okay. And
We'll
inline
also
speed.
make like a few turnarounds because it's probably pretty easy for a captain to kind of guesstimate, you know? So Neal will try and throw him off. I don't know if you want like a navigation check or like a seamanship to like see if we've successfully hidden our whereabouts or whatever.
Right.
Wait, and also make sure that none of them have got compasses.
Yeah. It's not a difficult thing. I mean, if you're tying them below decks so they can't see where you're going, you're probably just like putting a bag over their head. Otherwise, they could look out the windows or the portholes and recognize islands as they go past. So you're going to need to effectively blindfold them for the 2 weeks that it will take you to get to Sulphur Island.
Yep, well, we do what we've got to do.
Yep. And a good sailor, if they know they're headed in a certain direction and they know the capabilities of their ship, could probably get a pretty good guess. You know, it takes us 17 hours to get from port to port, you know, or in 3 days we can pass this many islands. So if they know the time passage and they estimate max speed, they can get a rough approximation of where they might be. Do you have any interest in like slowing your journey down to confuse them or finding a way of speeding up to confuse them?
I think the rowers would be significantly faster than they would be used to, right?
That's true. They don't normally operate under rower speed. They normally just operate with sail power so that it's cheaper to move everything.
I think all we do is instead of just following a straight line, we can just like weave in and out around some of the islands every now and again. Like traffic cones, kind of.
We'll take longer.
All right. And it will be then early December. You arrive at Sulphur Island. The ship, despite having not a lot in the way of cargo, does have food and water for weeks and weeks, because you absolutely need food and water in order to get anywhere, even if you don't have any goods you're hauling. And so we will find ourselves at Sulphur Island on the 3rd of December.
Moon, can you refresh my armor spell in the meantime?
Yeah, everybody's armor spells will be refreshed. I'll take, I think only 2 blessed leather off for that.
And everyone will be at full HP by now.
Yeah.
Cool. Everybody has their armor. Yeah, only 2 people will need it.
Great. Arriving at Sulphur Island, the party is just gonna go back around to the lagoon and drop the stuff off at that little village.
I think we will spend some time
in a cargo ship.
That's a good point. The cargo ship looks a little sketch to bring all the way up that river to the lagoon. It's got a much deeper draft to it. Your long ship can easily go up that river without any problem. Your cargo ship, probably not so much. Its oar power is not as great. Even if at like full maximum rower speed, the ship just produces too much drag to go against the current of the river. And there's rocks and there's reefs, and like the tight turns of the river need something with more maneuverability.
So maybe Archie and I will go in a rowboat. We'll anchor outside the edge of the lagoon, and we'll go in a rowboat to the little dock. Take the weapons with us, and enough wood to make a fire.
You'll have to row up the whole river, essentially.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
Okay.
Will that take days and days, or will it just be like a day?
It'll probably be a day.
Yeah,
a day up and then half a day back.
We also want to signal them with our spyglass. So
yeah, I'll take the spyglass and make wood to make a fire.
Even a fire would probably be good enough near the temple if you can get near it. Just watch out for those perception checks and those pit traps.
Oh yeah.
You know that they've got that high up watchtower from which they gaze out at things coming by, so they must see you. You know they've got a good vantage point. So they must have seen your ship go to the river, and they must see the ship go across the lagoon, the rowboat go across the lagoon. And
It's a different ship than we had last time, though. So
it is.
Once Archie and I land, I'm just going to make a fire, and then I'll, like, look with my spyglass to when someone's in their tower watching us, and then I'll sort of, like, wave and maybe, like, hold up some of the weapons. And once I feel like I've been spotted, I'll just, like, hide the weapons somewhere nearby where the fire is, and we'll head back.
Yeah, it goes... Well, let me roll for encounter checks. The two of you, it's you and Archie rowing up the river. That's going to leave Sail and Nilrum for about a day and a half in charge of Ajora and her crew. And they've been blindfolded for weeks, and you've been, feeding them and watering them. Someone's been having to make food since their cook is being blindfolded as well. What are you going to do, Sail and Nilrum, during these two days or day and a half?
Probably just hang out. Talk to them. Maybe talk to the captain. See if they can give us any good info. What do they usually sell? Would be one of the questions, I guess.
They mostly just haul whatever people need hauled. They're not so much in... They rarely buy and sell. They mostly just pick up cargo. But if they see something that they know... we visited Port Ferris recently, and we know that the price of copper is really, really low in Port Ferris. But we know over at, like, Port Alba, the price of copper is quite high since they don't have any copper mines. So they might, like, pick up a couple of bars of copper in Port Ferris and, like, try and sell them down over in Alba. But otherwise, it's like... this person needs shit shipped, so we're just gonna, haul on big crates and who knows what they are. Mostly they're just movers of other people's goods.
Fucking movers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys excited for your orientation, I guess? Excited to become one of us?
Dead quiet in response.
I guess
I
that's
wanna,
where we
like,
leave it then. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Kill him.
I'm gonna like dip
Kill
my
everyone
hand,
that's
jump
not
in water, and say, "Don't you want to feel the touch of the undersea god?" And then I'll like grab one of their legs with my wet hand.
Yes, we're excited. We're excited not to meet the undersea god. We're excited to stay on the ship.
Oh, I'll spend my time making. I'll cast Great Holy Symbol like once or twice, and then make that into necklaces.
Excellent. At some point, Ajora will ask you who this undersea god is.
He has no name that can be spoken, but by the most devout. But if you serve him well, you cannot drown, and the sea will forever be yours.
Ooh.
Is that true, Sail? You can stay underwater?
It's not a perfect ability.
I nod.
Listen, every god has a bit of flair to it. Okay, I'm selling it.
I got it.
The goods can be dropped off. You see some strange creatures moving in the trees as you row up and down that river. There are sometimes like large hulking shapes that might be trolls or ogres or some sort of large humanoid creature, maybe like a mini giant, something at least 8 feet tall, but it's always deep in the jungle and you can only catch like a glimpse of something here or a shadow of something there or like a branch that bends but it's too high up for a normal person to reach out to it. Gives you the impression that there are some sort of monstrous humanoids on either side of the river.
Okay.
But they don't bother your boat. You can drop off your goods and you can row back, and the whole party together again can finish the journey from Sulphur Island past Crystal Cove.
We need to stop off somewhere to do the ritual. We were going to do it here, but if we can't get the ship into the lagoon, then we can't do it here, so we need to find somewhere else. So if we could just find like a small island, Neal, in the water somewhere, that would be perfect. Otherwise, we're going to have to find somewhere else.
Well, remember, these islands aren't all to scale. So Crystal Cove is quite small in comparison to everything else. There are some small villages among it, and there's also just like open land where there are no villages, just like beaches, what you call it, like atoll-style beaches.
Yeah, but we need to be in a valley or something where they can't see around them.
Why can't we just do it in our base of operations and bring them in blindfolded and do it on like the backside of the island?
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Okay.
We just need to make sure that none of them see out any of the portholes. So we'll have to just pick a room that, or a part of the island where they can't see Flotsam.
Yeah, let's just do it in the basement down in one of the locked islands with like silver doors or whatever, right?
If there is such a place, yeah.
Well, there is the basement where the old treasury would be, in the old magic storage room. There's those 2 rooms down there lined with silver and lead.
Will we not need the sea though for the ritual?
Yeah.
Maybe you could bring a bucket of seawater, I suppose. You could do that. But probably better
on the backside
near
of the
sea.
Yeah, I think we could do it on the backside of the island, one guy at a time.
Can we find like a valley, Neal, where they won't necessarily be able to, where they're surrounded by cliffs around them, so they won't necessarily be able to see where they are? I've searched the island, so I know if there is a suitable place.
You can find a bit of a cove that kind of has a U shape like this to it. And there'll be like mountains definitely across the backside, and then there'll be jungle on either side, which will block line of sight mostly. So their view cone will be about yay big.
That's great. So what we'll do is we'll get them to the base, and then we're going to march them out to that place the next day or whenever we want to do the ritual.
Okay. Great. So tell us, how much detail do you want to go into this ritual right now?
I have a couple of like small ideas. I was going to try to make it like as religious as possible. So like, in order to swear yourself to the god of the sea, you have to like take into your body the bounty of the sea. So they have to eat some kind of seafood and then drink seawater and then actually put their head under the water, and like that kind of there's like almost like a cleansing ritual. And then like a declaration of servitude to him.
Since you're like a priest in this situation, right? You wouldn't wear robes. Maybe you should get like a bunch of seaweed and like drape it over you. That's like a robe.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A shawl of kelp dawns your shoulders. Do you make them say his name?
I think
Or are they not?
What I would do is dunk them and then request Rohi to judge them. And see if he sees them fit for service.
Maybe you like whisper their name in their ear as you dunk their head.
Because then there maybe is like a 1 in 10 chance that he doesn't, and one of them gets whipped away.
Well, there are 6 crew members and the captain now, because one of them didn't make it initially. So
It's
let's
just went
see.
to visit Rohi early.
Ooh.
He's the lucky one.
I think the first guy to really sell the ritual, I would like intentionally just get Rohi to pull him under.
So the first one, you tell the other people is going to be tested, but you tell Rohi is a sacrifice.
Yes.
And I take it everyone else gets to watch each of these things happen, right? They see you in your shawl of seaweed dunking this man's head underwater.
Yeah, as I say the name, Rohi. But I think they would be far enough to not hear it. I think
they're far enough up the beach to not hear it when dark tentacles come out of the water, grab the man, and drag him to the depths. A gasp runs through the viewers. They're shocked at seeing this.
I'll throw my arms in the air and be like, "He was not worthy. Bring the next."
All right. The next shows up. You dunk them. Rohi judges them, and they pass. They're fine.
And the final part of the ritual is they swear servitude.
After they've been judged?
I guess. Yeah, no, it would be before. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, so they swear servitude and then they're dunked and judged?
Yes.
Nilrim will do the markings. after they have been judged, he will do the bastardized version of the Astaire symbol, which is a circle and then 3 triangles.
Excellent. All right. The first one has passed. The second is also passes.
I'd just like to point out the irony in that Sale pulled me away from a normal ass party and killed a bunch of people there under the pretense that it was a cult, and now he actually has a cult.
But you're at the ground level of the cult, so it's good.
Yeah, you're in the top pinnacle of the pyramid.
The third sailor is judged well. The fourth also has sworn allegiance, and Rohi has deemed them worthy. Our fifth sailor, however, does not pass the test. They say the words, they eat the food, they're dunked beneath the waves, and as you wait for Rohi to, give you the signal that they're okay, instead dark tentacles reach out, wrap themselves around his neck, and sort of squeeze until there's a pop, and then the head floats off, and tentacles drag the body after it. The sixth sailor is pulled into the water for a little bit and then released. Like, it looks like they're about to get dragged away, but after being pulled maybe 15, 20 feet out into the water, the grip of whatever this is releases, and they sort of float to the surface and then kick and swim and paddle and walk the rest of the way to shore.
Brother, did he speak to you?
No, there was just something strong. Something, and he puts a hand to a neck where you can see there's lots of little circles all over the throat. I felt it on my neck, on my body. It was strong, it was tight. What is it? Is it an aboleth?
It's the god that you serve now, brother.
He drops to his knees and kisses the sand before scrambling back to shore, leaving you with just Captain Ajora.
I hope she doesn't roll badly.
Is there anything that anyone wants to say or do to make an impression?
I think I would. I assume I have a way to signal to Rohi that maybe this one's kind of important, so judge a little bit leniently. For political reasons.
I'm sure that Rohi understands.
This is partially theater. I think he would get that.
She passes as well. She eats the seaweed. She says the words. She swears fealty to this new unknown god. Her head is dunked, and she comes out the other side. A loyal servant of Rohi, or at least Rohi has deemed her worthy. And now you have 5 new crew members and 1 new ship's captain who has a ship legally and lawfully in her name, and who has sworn her allegiance to your deity and your cause.
All right. Once the ritual is over, I'll walk down from whatever place I was sitting, watching this happen, and I'll come and stand before the 6 of them and say, all right, well, those of you judged worthy are still here, and I hope you understand the oath you've taken this day. And right now, the punishment for your betrayal is more than just legal, violent, and mortal. Your souls are on the line here. I hope that you can keep your word.
No, we'll take a piece of hair from each person and a dunk, a little drop of their blood, and put them into some vials or some glasses just lying around. He'll mark each one of their names and show them to each individual.
They see it.
With your orientation complete, I'm afraid you'll be back to your blindfolds. But we will set sail tomorrow, where we will drop you off with an associate of ours. And we'll explain more when we get there. For now, you should rest and think about what's happened tonight. And I'll give Archie a nod to go and like put their blindfolds back on.
Okay.
And we'll lead them back into the base.
Archie.
Should we mark ourselves, Captain?
I look around at the group and nod.
Okay. I'll do the mark on, I guess, everybody else. And then I'll
These are all
give Captain.
lower back tattoos.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. Yep, lower back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
I'll
on the
give
hip,
the...
kinda.
I was thinking the small of the back.
Oh, okay.
It's like
What if you
tramp
like
stamp
share
or like
right up while you're at
just
the bar?
above
Stamp,
tramp?
yeah. Like
I
tramp
just
stamp,
want to
yeah.
say.
Okay. And then I'll give Captain the dagger to mark me.
Yeah, okay. Might do it on him too.
The Crimson Tramps.
Can I do a... What kind of check do you want for my artistic ability to do a nice, all around circle with my 3 triangles?
And this is like a carving into the flesh, right? This is
Yeah.
not okay. Dex
With
check,
the bard's
please.
dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, not very dex. Oh,
Well, that is a natural
Okay.
20 on your Dex check, so that looks great.
it was meant to be good. Good.
Yeah, that was perfect. Archie, everyone seems to have some role in the conversion of these people. Your role was the initial intimidation. How are you feeling about these extraneous options? These oaths and these hair and blood pluckings and the tattooings and...
I've been on less weird ships. I've been in less weird crews, that's for sure. But you know what? If they need me in the back, just kind of leaning against a wall, my arms crossed, looking at everyone, making sure that they know that if they get up and hurt my crew, I'll be there to punch their face in. I feel like I'm doing okay. You know what? I'm on a ship. I'm having a good time.
How are you doing with the mysticism of this all? Archie didn't strike me as a particularly religious or like spiritual person, but
Not
shit's
really at
getting
all.
kind of...
He
sorry.
does think that Rohi's pretty cool though, and like with everything that he's talked with Sale about him, he has like a good impression of him. Like previously, when people in his life talked to him about the gods, he always thought it was kind of like it was a little much. They were a little bit crazy about them, and they were these high figures that you could never. And with Sale, it's like okay, it's just like a little buddy. It's a friend that helps him out in the ocean, and he thinks that's kind of neat. It's kind of cool. And he sees Sale and how powerful he is and the things he does, and he thinks that's cool. So he's feeling it.
Okay. You're getting with it.
Yeah.
What about you, Captain Winters? You just wanted to sail around with your buddy and, loot and pillage and have money and have a good time. But you've somehow fallen in with this, dark undersea god.
Fate works in mysterious ways. Unfortunately, due to the nefarious actions of Nora, my soul is currently being... I'm in the same bargain that these people are. That's how I got the idea. At least from my point of view. So, I don't think John's that bothered about the White Prince, and left to his own devices, he'd probably just work within the law. Probably like Starbuck, right? And just try and make as much money as he could. But you can't always... you got to play the hand that you're dealt. So it is what it is. And who can deny the miracles that I've seen?
Mm-hmm.
No other cleric can do things like this. Not so soon, out of nowhere. Yeah.
Well, your people have been converted, and they meet the rest of the crew. They meet the rest of your the people in your base, Wiley and Jimmy and Bobby. I'm sorry, and the other two. I can't remember the names right now, but I'm sure I have them down.
Those guys know where they are, though, so we need to make sure they don't reveal any details. I feel like I'd be more comfortable just letting them meet Wiley.
We could do a structured meeting, But yeah, I think that's fine as well.
Okay, but Janet and John Brophy?
No, I don't feel like those two are loyal enough.
It's fine.
Bobby and Wiley seem pretty loyal.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bobby and Wiley got to, and we got to mark all these people too.
Yeah, we should probably do the same ritual with the other two. To be honest.
I think we made a different deal with them, and this was partially because these guys are going to be given independence. This was like
Yeah.
to secure
Yeah,
their
you are
loyalty.
right. Maybe it's
Yeah, that's fine.
maybe it's not fair.
But Bobby and Wiley should probably be marked.
But
Marked, yeah.
What if
We
Bobby
don't-
Marked.
fails?
Yeah,
to
we
take
don't
Yeah,
need to
no,
do the
we-
whole thing, but yeah, marked. Yeah.
We can mark them.
Come here, Bobby.
Bobby comes on over. Yeah. Did you get my club?
Bend
Yeah.
over, boy.
Yeah, bend over.
He leans over.
And I will have Captain help hold him down. We're not going to tell him what we're doing, you know? It's just
Right, it's just all of a sudden there's-
yeah. All of a sudden you get a dagger to the back and we're, you know, carving some symbols on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is my finest one yet, Bobby. Good job.
But these are more scars than tattoos, then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not branding. It's the other term when you carve something. in.
Scarification.
Yeah. Great. Well, now what? What do you guys want to do? The
Well-
sea is yours. You've got new people. You've got a new
No,
boat.
there's one more stage, right? We need to blindfold them, get them back on the ship, sail around for a few days, and then we're going to drop them off
We also need copper
with
to
Nightingale.
Do we need copper to unsize the ship, or
No.
Well,
You can
wait,
just,
we shouldn't. Okay, so hold on. We got to talk about this. We got to sail around a few days, and then they have to be the ones to go in the port, right? Into
Yes.
Lots important. Go talk to Nightingale. So
Yeah,
how do we
which
do that?
means-
How do we sail them around for a few days, let them take command of the ship, and we get off and go on our own?
Well, no, I think one of us needs to go with them to introduce them to Nightingale, right?
Sure. The only issue is the Inquisitor is going to be probably inspecting everyone who gets off the ship, right?
Will he
I don't know how
inspect
it works.
everyone personally? I don't think so, right? I think I could
I
probably get
looked
away
to
with it with
sail.
disguise.
Oh well,
I don't think we
Yeah,
could
that's
send
fine.
a spellcaster.
we can't send a spellcaster.
No, we can't send a spellcaster, yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be me or Archie. There is
Sounds
a
like a
chance
team
that I get. There's a chance I get recognized.
You have been in that town many times.
Yeah,
I'm sure that this captain can disguise you as a member of her crew well enough.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's the plan. We sail around, and then at some point, all of us will be on the boat, and then whilst they're blindfolded and we're near our base, Archie, Sail, and Nilrim will get off and go on the rowboat back to our base, and then I'll command them to go to Flotsam Island, and then I'll probably have to come back to the beach and show a signal that night so you can come back and get me on the boat to get me
Sure.
back to the island, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that works.
So we spend another 3 or 4 days just sailing around.
Okay.
We fuck around.
Just for everyone's edification, your new crew members are Scarlet, Olivia, Emma, Miley, and Finn. Those are the 6 people, 5 people plus a Jorah that survived these trials and tribulations.
So what,
I don't
5
think-
women and 1 guy?
Including Scarlet, it was 5 women and 1 man that survived. I don't think we need to go into like height and weights and backstories for these people
No.
at this point in time. But if ever you want to know more about them, I will happily generate more information on them for you. You sail around for a few days, and
Yeah.
eventually you're gonna let them take the ship.
No. The 3, Archie, Sail, and Nilrim, when we're near the base, will take the rowboat and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're gone and we're a little bit further, I'm going to unblindfold them all at that point when we're near Flotsam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be like, all right. So, I call them all on deck finally. There was 4 of us there the last time they knew, but now it's just me. And I'll take Ajora's blindfold off and then tell her to do the same for the rest of the crew.
Uh-huh. They'll look around, and she'll take a moment and gaze at the place and be like, this is Port Ferris, right?
That's right.
Flotsam Island?
So, yes, I have a friend here I'd like to introduce you to. Why don't you set sail for the port? And Ajora, I'm somewhat known on this island, so make sure I'm going to disguise myself, and if there's any questions, just make sure they don't get too close to me.
All right. she takes command of the ship, sails it under the power of the remaining people, which is a little bit tough, you know, but it manages to work.
I've still got my monkey with me, I think. They don't know about the monkey.
Yeah, the ship docks at the main dock of Flotsam Island. Off you step along with everyone else. Very quickly, you are brought to see... Where is it over here? You step off of this main dock over here while the map slowly loads into point where you can see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not the right one. You come off of the... That's actually totally right.
It looks different.
Yeah. And you'll see that this right here, down in the middle, is the Inquisitor's building. There's a giant symbol of a stair, like crafted into the stonework here, where there are stones that are blue and gold in nature. And the Inquisitor will see you guys coming on down, and he'll stop on over here and, you know, say hello, and the Inquisitor will do a quick inspection of everything, a big helm sitting on his head gazing at all of you. You all pass pretty quick inspection. The papers are handed over. He takes a look at them. He asks what sort of cargo is being brought, and she says that they are empty on cargo, here looking to move wares and pick up new things. And he'll, you know, take a look at each person carefully for a moment, inspecting them, ask if they've seen any news of pirates or any piracy happening, and she'll say that she saw the HS Lawbringer fighting someone over near Swamplandia. He will nod in approval of it, and tell you good citizens to continue on your way. And
Fantastic.
You and Ajora and the rest of the crew can make your way through Fort Ferris.
Yeah,
How tough
so
does he look? Does he look like a formidable fighter, or does he just look like someone who got magic items?
He's got like heavy, he's got like a breastplate on, but his arms are sort of free to help breathe in the impressive heat here. He's got an arming sword at his side. He's got a squire with a big ass shield standing like, 60 feet away in the shade watching. The movements that the Inquisitor makes are sort of bold and confident. He moves with that presence of like, I am in charge of everything around me, that like, that projection of power. But it's hard to tell if this is just I'm used to a position of power and so I exude confidence because I've never been challenged, or if it's like I could actually kill everyone here if I needed. You'd really need to see him in a fight to judge his abilities.
Yeah.
You want to pick a fight with him to find out?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Soon.
One day.
So once we move away from the dock and away from the Inquisitor's house, rather than go straight to Nightingale, I just want to stop in at a tavern, get everyone a drink, sit around the table, and then as long as we're relatively private, I'm going to explain to them what the plan is here.
Great. And when you say everyone, we mean not the rest of the party, because they are somewhere else right now.
I mean these 6 people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so I get them all. They're all sat down. I get some drinks brought over, and say, right, well, the reason we're here in Port Ferris is because there's a local lady here, goes by the name Nightingale, lives just around here. We've been able to work with her successfully. She's a friend of ours, and we're obviously going to need to be in contact with you. So I'm thinking, like we said, the deal is, you can go about your normal business. Obviously, you've got to kick up some taxes to me. Let's say 10% of everything you make. I want you to check in with Nightingale here in Flotsam once a month, assuming it's safe, to pay your 10%. And if we have any messages for you, we'll leave them with her. That makes sense?
Once a month is very often for a seafaring.
You think? Yeah, maybe once a month is too much. Like maybe once every 3 months then.
Seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it actually takes them... Ores mix... Oh, my numbers are all fucked up, but I think it takes them about 43 days to do a full cycle of the outer ring. And since they've got a cargo ship, they can't really go against the current. So it would need to be
we'll
at
do
least
3 months. 3 months is fine.
Okay.
4 times a year. All right, so I'm going to let you know. We'll go and introduce you to her. I'll leave you there. I'm going to leave. And you won't see me again until the next time I have need of you. But I expect to be able to collect your payment, in 3 months' time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
10% is pretty reasonable, right?
10% is that gives them enough money that they can still make money, and it kicks up a pretty good tax to you. 10% is not bad.
Yeah,
It's not oppressive.
They'll probably make money fencing whatever we give them, so
True.
they won't be poor.
Yeah, they won't be poor. And we can
Did the
still, if
captain
we...
bring the jewelry or no?
Oh, to Nightingale.
Yeah.
I've definitely got some wealth on me to pay the next tranche of what I owe her. So, yeah, I'd probably take a bunch of the gold and silver jewelry then,
Cool. Take it on you. Fuck
I
it.
guess.
Okay.
Okay, so we finish our drinks, and I'll stand up and walk us all to Nightingale's house. And I guess this time I will... No, we'll still go around the back.
Back. So you will bring all 6 of them to Lady Nightingale's place, entering through the back door at the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You'll come back around. You will see that once again there is a little wee folk hanging out in the garden. This time up in a tree, pruning some branches. They'll see over the gate to you arriving, and like a whole bunch of people behind you. Hop down and open the gate for you, bring you on in. Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? You doing all right? Tree's looking great. Garden looks fantastic.
Why, thank you.
Is the lady in?
I don't know if you should be here today.
Why? What's happened?
The lady's husband's home.
Oh, it's it's nothing like that. I just need to introduce her to some friends of mine. Purely business.
I don't know if he knows what's going on, though. I don't think he's privy to your presence. Her ladyship hasn't.
Could you get a message to her for me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Tell her to meet me in the Golden Bucket at sundown.
Okay. Have a nice day, he says, and then waits.
Yeah. I give him a few silver. No, I give him a gold piece. That's the standard.
All right. He happily
Some
pockets the gold
man.
and waves goodbye to you guys. And later that evening,
we go back to the pub. Yeah.
Yeah. Many hours later, you will meet at the Golden Bucket. Lady Nightingale will come in. She'll have like a bodyguard who hangs out nearby, and he stops at the door as you are sitting at a table with your newfound crew. All of them have been pretty tight-lipped, a little bit concerned about what's been going on, not wanting to make any trouble, so just kind of keeping a nice low profile. Lady Nightingale will show up, leaving her guard behind, come over towards your table and lean in close. Hi, friends. You must be
Hello.
new in town. I'm Lady Nightingale.
Fantastic to meet you. You're truly a vision. Please, can I buy you a drink?
Sure. Rosé, please. And she will sit. Pull up a chair to the table to make it look like she's only here temporarily.
Yeah. I'll order a drink from the bar. And once she's got her drink, I say, okay, well, Nightingale, I had some people that I wanted to introduce you to. This is Ajora, the captain of these fine folk here.
She pulls out a deck of cards and starts shuffling them while you talk.
They're going to be working with us going forward, and I need a way to keep in touch with them and collect their taxes without without being seen myself in the wrong places. So I was hoping that you may be able to act as a middleman between us here. Maybe meet with them once every 3 months, take the money, pass on any messages. And whilst we're on the topic, I do have another payment for you.
Splendid. She deals out some cards to just you and her, and puts some money on the table, and then looks at you expectantly.
Yeah, so I will. I'll put in some in front of me, I put a load of gold pieces and a bunch of this jewelry, and have it in a little stack. And just as we're chatting, I'll just casually lose hands to her and pass over the wealth.
Yeah, the conversation goes, the wealth gets passed, the other people are watching, keeping super quiet. Ajora pipes in at some point, being like, Lady Nightingale, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ajora. I'm a recent conscript or convert, depending on how you want to call it. She introduces herself, talks about her ship, the cargo they haul around, blah, blah, blah. And maybe half an hour later, you've lost enough money that, you've lost your money, and she packs up everything and goes, well, it's a pleasure to have taken all of your money. New faces, new friends, nice to meet you. I expect to see you in 3 months or so. And as always, new friends and new strangers, it's a pleasure to take money from you.
Been a pleasure. All right, so Neal, I've given her 50 gold and the 5 pounds of gold, 20 pounds of silver, and 10 pounds of cheap jewelry. Yeah.
And she's gonna have to figure out this price because she has an appraiser and everything.
Right. 5 pounds of gold, 20 pounds of silver.
And 10 pounds of cheap jewelry, along with 50 gold coins.
All right, so she's now carrying 35, 40 pounds of wealth back. Her pockets won't even fill this. She has to get a crate from the bartender, one of the crates that bottles of booze come in, and her guard will, they'll put a blanket over it or a towel over it so no one can see what's in it, and haul away this crate of wealth.
Anybody who was watching would see that he literally lost a metric fuckload of money. Yeah.
Okay. But I think it's just, he brings out some stuff and puts it on the table, and then it gets moved, and he brings out a little bit more. And so if someone was paying close attention, they would have seen 30 pounds of wealth moved from one to the other, but it happened in little batches. So maybe the bartenders or the waitresses who were bringing you drinks would have noticed the sheer volume, but most of the other nearby patrons are busy and doing their own things.
It probably wouldn't be entirely unusual for payments to be exchanged this way, so they'd be like, oh, they just made a deal, if someone did notice.
Yeah, that's true. If you're going to do business, you could do it in a house or you could do it in a tavern. It's not terribly unusual for large amounts of money to be on display in a minor port like this. This is quite a lot, but it's probably fine.
So after Nightingale leaves, I will stand up and down the rest of my pint. And slam it down on the table and say, well, Ajora and friends, it's been good getting to know you. I hope that you understand how serious what we're dealing with is here. And with that, I'll be bidding you adieu. You're welcome to go back to your ship to conduct your business as you will. And if I have any messages for you, you know where to find them. And good luck.
And with that, you depart, and they will stay and have a few more drinks and figure out what they're going to do, maybe pick up some cargo and continue along their way, expecting to be back in 3 months to deliver taxes and pick up and deliver messages.
Yeah. So I will, if I can easily sneak out of town and get to the place that we usually row to.
I've already rolled your charisma check. You remain unnoticed and exit town appropriately.
And I signal for someone to come and pick me up. And I get back to the base.
Hey, you know what we haven't done in 3 episodes? Experience.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Before you get back to the base, no one would have told you that we need more of the copper wire so we can make the ship shrink again.
Could I have grabbed that, Neal, when I was over there?
It'll take a while to make, but you could have put it in order, and then at the end of your long rest here, you could...
we want 3 castings of it.
Yeah.
Okay. How much does that cost?
Do you remember the prices?
I think it was about
on
100
that?
gold a cast. Yeah,
it sounds about right.
Gold a cast. Yeah.
So 300 gold?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just pick that up in a week.
Cool.
And we will do experience. We haven't done this in a while. In fact, why don't we take our break right now, and I'll calculate experience during the break, and during the break, you guys can discuss amongst yourselves what it is that you would like to do next. Is it raiding an island, a coastal village? Are you going to go capture another ship? Are you going to try and like find some legitimate work? Are you going to maybe move to the inner islands and check out that big port town? There's so much to do. We'll find out what you guys are interested in on the other side of our break. So see you soon.